Okay, letters on both sides of the equations. So what we're going to have a look at is trying to solve an equation. So remember, solve means to get the letter by itself on one side. But sometimes we might have brackets, or sometimes we might have letters that are on both sides. So we don't just have letters on one side, we have letters on both sides of the equation. We need to expand our brackets first if we have them. Remember, that's the first part of our BODMAS order of operations. We need to separate all of our terms if we have any together, so that means expanding our brackets. And then we just basically add or subtract or do our opposites. The whole term goes with the letter to get the letters on the left-hand side and the numbers on the right-hand side. So just like we did before, we solved equations by doing the opposites to both sides in reverse order. We're going to do exactly the same, but if it's a term we need to move, it's the whole term, so the letters and the numbers. Let's have a look at example number 1. Got 3y here and 2y here. In front of the 2y there's nothing. It doesn't mean it's a negative. The negative goes with the 7. So if there's nothing in front of that 2, we assume it's a plus. The opposite of plus is minus. So under the 2y, and over here under the other y, I'm going to write the minus 2y. Plus 2y, take away 2y, cancels each other out. Line up your equal signs. Over here I'm left with minus 7. 3y, take away 2y, leaves me with 1y. I don't write the 1 in, remember? And plus 4 is still there, nothing happened to it. Now let's say, what do we have to do to solve this equation? Y plus 4, last thing we did was plus 4, so we're going to do the opposite, which is minus 4. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. Plus 4, take away 4, cancels out, and y equals minus 7 minus another 4. So if I'm already down here at minus 7, I've got a minus another 4, which is going to take me to minus 11. Okay, up here to the next one. Can't do my solving first, have to get my letters on the one side together. So here is the 8k. I'm going to move it over to this side because I want my letters on the left and my numbers on the right. There's nothing in front of it, which means I'm assuming it's a plus. The opposite of plus is take away. So minus 8k, what you do to one side, must do to the other. Line up your equal signs. 8k is 0. I'm left with 8. 5k take away 8k leaves me with negative 3k, and the minus 2 still there. K got multiplied by minus 3, then we took away 2. So the last thing we did was take away 2. Opposite of take away 2 is plus 2. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. Cancelling out, minus 2 and plus 2 makes 0. 8 plus 2 is 10. Minus 3k is left on this side. What happened to k? It got multiplied by, not 3, but minus 3. So the opposite of timesing is divide, and I've got to divide by the 3 and the minus 3 because I need to get k by itself, which means that I need to get the k and the negative away, the 3 and the negative away from the k to leave the k by itself. Okay, so the dividing and the timesing cancel out, equals, and k is 10 divided by 3. Now, that's not going to give you an exact answer on your calculator. So what we need to be able to do is we need to do it as a fraction. So 10, and if you just do divide it by negative, you need to use the negative, not take away. Your calculator should give you exactly minus 10 over 3. If it doesn't, you can press the SD or the ABC button, and we'll leave it as minus 10 over 3. Okay, next one. Expanding brackets. 3 multiplies by the x gives me 3x. 3 multiplies by the 4 gives me plus 12. 2 multiplies by the 1 gives me 2. 2 multiplied by the minus x gives me minus 2x. Sorry, just lining up your equal signs as we're going. Okay, 2x over here, 3x over here, need to get them both letters on the left-hand side, numbers on the right-hand side. It's a minus 2x, opposite of minus is plus, so plussing 2x to both sides. Line up your equal signs. They cancel each other out, opposites make 0. I'm left with 2. 3x plus 2x gives me 5x, and the plus 12 is still there. Now solving, x got times by 5, then we added 12. Last thing we did was add 12. Undoing that, we need to minus 12 from both sides. Cancelling out, lining up your equals. 2 take away 12 is going to give me minus 10, and 5x left on this side. Last step, x got times by 5. The opposite is to divide by 5. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. Cancels out the times and the divide. I'm left with x equals and minus 10, using the minus button again. Minus 10 divided by 5 gives me minus 2. Okay, next one. I've got some denominators that I need to cancel out. In order to get rid of the 5 and the 4, I'm going to multiply everything by 20. Why am I multiplying by 20? Because that's what 5 times 4 is. So 5 will cancel into itself and will cancel into 20 4 times. And if we do it like that, you can see that it's just the opposite numbers. So on this side, the 4 cancels out with the 20, and it leaves me with the opposite number, which was the 5. Now, because I've got two things here, I need to put some brackets around them, and this is going to now give me exactly the same type of a question as I had in number 3. So if you have fractions on the bottom, multiply by what the product or the multiplication of the two numbers on the bottom. The two denominators multiplied together, multiply both your sides by those, and when you cancel, you end up with the opposite left over. Okay, now expanding the brackets, 4 gets multiplied by the 2a, giving me 8a. 4 gets multiplied by the minus 1, leaving me with minus 4. 5 by the a gives me 5a. 5 by the 7, 5 sevens are 35. Need to get the a's on the other side before I can do my solving. Nothing in front of the 5a, which means it's a plus. The opposite is to take away. Lining up, cancels, left with 35. 8a take away 5a is 3a, and the minus 4 still sits there. 3 got times by a, then we took away 4. Opposite is to plus 4. What you do to one side, you've got to do to the other. 3a equals 39. Last step, dividing by 3, and therefore a equals 39 divided by 3 is giving me 13. You can now work on exercise 8.3, questions 1, 2 and 3, the first column only.